Hey y'all, how are y'all doing tonight? Peace on earth and love and light to you. I am Gabrielle Ether and welcome to my channel. So we have a pick a card reading for how to forgive yourself. So I came up with this reading because I went to go look for a reading called How to Forgive Yourself, and I saw one. If there's more, I don't know, but I found one. And that reading did shed some light onto my situation, but I often get a forgiveness card, you guys, and I pretty much know what it means when I get that card. A lot of people don't talk about forgiving yourself. They talk about forgiving other people, and yes, we should forgive other people. We should. Now, I'm not saying that. But I know why I get that card, because I know there are some things that I went through in my life, and I really do need to forgive myself. And so a lot of times, before we can even forgive other people, we got to forgive ourselves, okay? I remember having a friend that told me a while back that their favorite song was that T.I. song, I Still Haven't Forgave Myself. And I had a dream one night, and then I woke up and I heard that T.I. song, I Still Haven't Forgave Myself. I kept hearing that song, and I was like, wow, like I didn't know what the dream meant at first. And then I was like, okay, now I know what that dream means. I have to forgive myself for some things in my past. So you guys, we're going to see if we can help, look at some things that happened to your past or present, whenever it is, and see if we can get some self-healing going on, So when you can learn how to forgive yourself, you guys, you can get past a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, so the green cards are affirmation cards on the top, but I usually read those at the end. We have a lapis lazuli pendulum here. It broke, but this is my pendulum, but it broke. On the end, and we have a black tourmaline, and then we have a I can't wait till I get the rest of my crystals from Alabama, y'all. It's like I have new crystals. We have a golden hill of quartz here. So are y'all ready? I know y'all were already ready. Y'all were waiting on me, right? Let's go. Okay, so for those of you guys who were led to this lapis lazuli here, we're going to see how to forgive yourself. We're going to save this for the end, and hopefully I don't forget to. I'm trying to put it there where I can see it, so I won't forget to do it. Ancestor wisdom. Oh, but I know what that's saying. Okay, well, let me look at the other cards here. These are the Chakotay Oracle. They don't have any words on them, but here we go. So you really do blame yourself for something that's just not your fault. There are a lot of things that happen to you, and you feel when you were a child, and I'm hoping that it's not. I hate when I pick up on like anything like sexual molestation or any form of child abuse. I hate when I pick up on that, and I'm thinking that you guys probably did go through something like that, but you're thinking maybe if I wasn't so playful, or maybe if I wasn't just so trustworthy, that this wouldn't have happened to me. And you hold on to that, and you actually, y'all, the cord, my phone is going dead, so that's why this cord is here. So you hold on to that, and you actually feel like it was you, instead of, I know this ancestral wisdom card is here, but there are a lot of people, and some of your ancestors are looking down and saying that they see that and they know this. There were a lot of people who were to blame, because there are a lot of people who could have been watching you. There were a lot of people who actually saw it and knew about it, or maybe not with their natural eyes, but they just kind of knew something was going on. There were a lot of people around. Don't feel like that I think some type of way you just feel like maybe it was just only you around, or you probably should have never went there. But there were a lot of people who could have took responsibility, and should have taken responsibility. Because I feel like you feel like some type of way there weren't a lot of people around, but there was, simply because a lot of people knew that like that little girl or that young man should not be there. Like a lot of people knew that. Like a lot of people knew that at that time. They knew what was going on. a lot of people said, no, I don't think that little girl should be over there. A lot of people said, I don't think that young man should be over there. Some people said, I don't think they should be back there alone. Some people said they shouldn't have been in that position. If there were a couple of people who could have stepped in to do something, but they didn't. In some type of way, you blame yourself for what happened, okay? But it wasn't, this is just not your fault. Even though, and this is what happens sometimes too, and I think this probably was some type of sexual abuse. So you guys can let me know your story. You don't have to. If you need a personal reading, then email me. And hey, y'all won't believe the type of stories I get, and they don't go anywhere. I don't tell people people's business. So, you know, but if you need a personal reading, let me know. And so I can go, if you need me to go deeper into this situation to like help you, you know, really get healed from this situation. But this is not your fault. You feel like some type of way you were all alone. You feel like some type of way you made decisions to get you into this, but you were a child or you were young. If you weren't like a really small child, you were young and you were too young to take responsibility for this. In some type of way, some of you guys were thinking, well, you know, some of you guys were taken advantage of, even though you probably did put yourself in a position. You probably did say, well, I thought I liked this guy. I shouldn't have been there, you know, or I thought I liked the girl. I shouldn't have been there. Or either maybe I was a little curious. I just didn't know it was going to go that far. You can never blame a child's mind for, yeah. But you guys, you can never, I had to pause it for a little while, but you can never blame a child's mind for making a childlike decision. I don't care if you was like an older child, just feel like you were young. This is not your fault. So forgive yourself for this, because you cannot blame a child's mind. Just know from here on out, say I was a child, I was young. You know, even if you was older, 16, 17, 18, you know, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Just say I was young, I didn't know, you know, or either, you know, I was ignorant, I didn't know. Say you were older, say you was 35, you was ignorant to a situation you didn't know. You would have never put yourself in that situation had you have known. So forgive yourself. You know good and well that that's just not you. If you had known better, don't say I was stupid, I was dumb, I should have known better. Some of you guys probably saying I was old enough, I should have known better. No, if you were there and that happened to you, you didn't ask for that. No, you did not know better. Sometimes, like they say, ignorance is bliss. Just because sometimes if you didn't know something, it's because you had to yet experience that. You know, we don't always, a lot of us, like some people can say, girl, I knew not to do that when I was 13, but you didn't figure that out until you was like 23, because you had not yet experienced that. So whatever type of way, I feel like you guys are blaming yourself for a situation when you just did not know any better. Never blame yourself for something that when you didn't know any better. Okay, yeah, we all get tricked, we all get scammed and schemed on, and I just hope it's just not just abuse, and we blame ourselves for something that we did not know any better not to do. And I think that's just the case. You didn't know any better. Something happened, and then I think for some of you guys, something happened to someone that was really close to you, and you blame yourself for that too. And I think again, it's something about you just not knowing any better. You didn't know. I think this was like a sister or a cousin, someone close to you, and maybe you were supposed to watch them, but you were too young. You know, there were other people who could have took responsibility for this, and they didn't. But some people have told you that too, but you blame yourself, and you feel like, I should have watched them, I should have been there for them, I should have had their back. And I remember when my friend was telling me the story, and they were saying something similar to that. I wish I would have had their back. And I was like, no, you weren't there. You know, how you weren't there? You know, like, you know, like, even if, like I always say, we all have a little psychic in us, but ain't nobody just fixing to just, you know stuff like that all the time to just run to someone's rescue, you know? So if you didn't know any better, or you just know that it was anything that was out of your control, don't leave off this reading right now right now, you guys, with whatever your situation is, without saying, hey, I forgive myself. Before you leave this reading, whether or not you are all the way there, say it right now. I forgive myself, okay? Because you did not know. If you was ignorant to the situation, you just did not know. If you were a little naive, hey, you did not know, okay? You were probably young, and if you were young, then you just did not know any better. Do not blame your adult self for something you did as a child, okay? Don't do that anymore. And I'm here to tell you, whether you knew it or not, there were people around who could have stopped the situation and who were supposed to, but they didn't, because they were, just not being good people at that time. I'm sorry if they just allowed something like that to go on, And for some of you guys who probably feel responsible for somebody getting hurt, it wasn't your fault, okay? However you feel like this person got out of your hand, got out of your reach or something like that, you were young. It wasn't even really your responsibility. Even if your mom or dad said, hey, watch them for a little bit, and you probably could have. That's what young people do. They look away sometimes, or they can easily allow another young person to get out of their reach. Say, before you leave here, y'all, after this reading, before you leave out of this reading, say, it was not my fault and I forgive myself. I will not blame my adult self for something that I did when I was younger. I will not blame my now self for something that I did 2 years ago, okay? Hey, what can you say? If you didn't know any better, you just did not know. If you were naive, you just were. And really, you guys, this really just the fact of the matter right there. We're going to make mistakes from now until we till we leave this earth, okay? So say you forgive yourself, and that's all. You guys can let me know your story down in the comment section below. Let me know how well you enjoyed this reading, and that's all, y'all. Continue to come and grow with me and subscribe so we can become a part of each other's tribe. Hold on, let me do your affirmation. See, I almost forgot. Woman must not accept, she must challenge. Okay, this pretty much goes with what I was saying. Okay, I think you guys know exactly what this is saying. Don't, like I've been saying, don't just accept that. Don't just be like, oh well, this, I'm just gonna have to say, like, I was just a bad person. I was just a naive person. I was dumb. I was stupid. Don't call yourself names like that again. Don't do that. Now just go into the situation saying, hey, you know what? I'm not even going to blame myself, especially since Gabrielle told me there was other people around who could have stopped the situation too. And even if not, you're just not going to do that to yourself because it was in the past, okay? Woman must not accept, she must challenge. That's all, y'all. Yeah, come and grow with me, subscribe, and become a part of let's become a part of each other's tribe. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, y'all, for those of you guys who were drawn to this black tourmaline right here, let's put this affirmation card to the side, and hopefully I do not forget to read it. So if y'all see I done got all the way through these cards, just hold on, okay? Because I probably remember sometime at the end to do the affirmation card. You have be proud. You have, okay, these are the Chick-fil-A oracles. They don't have any words on them, but these are your cards. Okay. Some of you guys are just too hard on yourself in general. Like, how to forgive yourself. Really, you're just that way, okay? Okay, so I'm like this, but this is something that I had to learn how to not be. This is something I actually practiced a while back. Being too hard on yourself. You're just too hard on yourself, okay? This does stem from the way you were brought up. You were brought up to like work hard, to just be tough, never let them see you sweat type of people, to be proud, type of people. But I am getting that, but I am going to reverse this too when it comes to be proud, okay? But that's how you were kind of raised, you know? And I think you guys just were, you just caught up in a lot of what they call stinking thinking, you know? And you guys have just had some role models who, not bad, but they was just telling you advice that's just weird, as in just not right, because they just didn't know any better. When I look at this card, I'm just seeing like advice that was just the way it was. I'm hearing weird advice, but the reason it was weird because it was just not right. It was just probably old-fashioned, outdated, traditional, something like that. Like, I just know like some advice that my mama tells me sometimes, like it's just downright weird sometimes. Like sometimes the things she tells me, I'm like, Mom, like the world just don't work like that. Like I can think like that now. And I think you guys have probably thought like that before. Like you guys actually thought of like, okay, like I know the way I was raised to think a certain type of way. But believe it or not, even though you know that, you still kind of carry some of those actions into your adult life. And this is not really forgiving yourself like you're here on this video, but it's more so of you setting yourself free from yourself. You know, it's like who is your biggest enemy? It would be yourself. You're very critical of yourself, okay? You're afraid to be vulnerable in front of people. You're just the type of person that say, you know what, I rarely cry. I'm just going to be strong. I'm never going to let them see me sweat. I'm not going to show any type of fear. I'm not going to show any type of emotion. I'm just a strong person. That's how I was brought up to be. If I show any kind of emotion, that is a form of weakness, okay? But you're not going to be like that no more. You know, you were brought up to be very proud of people. But what you are going to do is be proud, but be proud of yourself. What you're going to do before you get off this reading, you're going to say, let me see how you can put this in a forgiving way. I forgive myself for being so hard on myself. Make sure you guys say that. Tell yourself, say, I am proud for all of my accomplishments. I am a strong person, a wise person. I've accomplished a lot in my life. And it's okay. It's okay for me to break down in emotions sometimes and just cry out of happiness, out of pure joy, and say, you know what? Look where I've been from. I did that. And if I want to get emotional and cry about that, then that's good, you know, because I'm proud of myself. I can pat myself on the back. You know, be proud of yourself. Just say, you know what? I'm a good person. I know I'm a good person. I am a loyal person. I am an honest person. And, you know, instead of just hiding who I really am, and just trying to be strong all the time, pat yourself on the back and say, you know what, there's not a lot of people out here like that these days. A lot of people don't honor loyalty and honesty these days. So pat yourself on the back and say, you know what, I'm going to be proud of myself. I am no longer going to be bound by a lot of tradition and just old ways of thinking that doesn't serve me. It might serve somebody else, but not me. And that's one thing that I see with you guys. You guys are just your biggest enemy. Like, you're very hard on yourself because you're just hard-working people, you know. And you were just brought up to be like that. You know, it's like you're the type of people, when something goes wrong, you don't even look at other people. You look at, okay, let me see what I did first. You might be very aware that other people are to blame, but you're going to look at yourself first and say, okay, let me see if I am to blame. Let me see if I did anything to cause this first, which is very good, because that means that you are, like I was saying, I was picking up that you're an honest person, but you're very honest about yourself. You're very self-evaluating, and that is great. That's a good characteristics to have. So before you leave this reading, just say, I'm no longer going to be hard on myself. I'm not going to judge my own self. I'm not going to judge myself when I'm showing emotion. I'm not going to judge myself when I made a bad decision. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to love myself 100%. I'm going to love myself when I'm not looking my best. I'm going to love myself even when I make that bad decision. And that's how you're going to be free. That's how you're going to free yourself, okay? For you guys, I don't think it's really about forgiving yourself, or you can just forgive the fact that you've been like this and just say, well, you know what? I'm just going to not be the type of person that's just so hard on myself. And I think that's mostly what you guys' problem is. You just really need to give yourself some credit, not judging your own self, and just really focusing more on accepting exactly who you are, the way you are, okay? So I feel like you guys probably have a hard time finding love also, because the odds are, if you are that hard on yourself, you're probably hard on somebody else too. So loosen up. Be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. People need to see that guy or that woman needs to see that. They need to see you be a little bit vulnerable, okay? Because you're going to come off like with your guard up, and they're going to be intimidated by you. So kind of loosen up a little bit. I'm going to read your affirmation card. And it says the most effective way to do it is to do it. So I don't know. That don't really tie into what I was saying, but if there's advice for you guys, then hey, accept it, because it's good advice. The most effective way to do is to do it. Okay, it can kind of tie into what I was saying. It don't have to, because it's just an affirmation card, and you guys could just accept it for what it is. But yeah, if I can't tie it into it, then you know what? Then this can just be saying like to just let it go. Let it all go. Just, stop being, like I've been saying, stop being judgmental about yourselves. You don't have to think or probably overthink a lot of things like you guys probably are doing, especially when it comes to people who are really self-evaluating, and you're like really analytical, really logical people, and probably, just really think about things a lot, and so the most effective way to do it is to do it. And that's it, you guys. Let me know your story down below. I'd like to hear from you guys and talk back with you all. And that's all. Continue to come and grow with me and subscribe so we can become a part of each other's tribe. Bye. For those of you guys who were drawn to this golden Healer quartz here are your cards, your affirmation cards, which I'm going to read last. Okay, so you have, listen. So these are the Chocolate Oracle, you guys. They don't have any words on them, but I'm going to show them to you. Okay, how to forgive yourself. Okay, you have really been judging yourself because of a lot of poor decisions you've made. You just really similar to the last one, you might be drawn to both of them, because you're extremely critical on yourself. You're really hard on yourself, similar to the last one, but this is more so about decisions that you make. You're just really picky when it comes to the decisions that you make. You just feel like you're a perfectionist, and you don't like the way you handle a lot of stuff. I'm feeling really bad that you guys think you really think low of yourselves, I'm feeling really bad because I guess I'm just not noticing. I think like this. Then you guys think you think really low of yourself. You criticize yourself with everything that you do, and it's part of you being a perfectionist, It's like I'm looking at this picture right here. It's like everything you look at, oh, you guys, oh my gosh, I'm remembering now. My sister told me, she was like, you're the type of person a person is guilty before proven innocent. And and she told me that one time, even though I don't feel like I'm that now, but I definitely can admit that I was like that, because I've been working on myself, okay? But I feel like you guys are kind of like that. When you see something, you definitely want to see how to work on it. Now, with that being said, if you're like that, then you're actually a very kind-hearted person. You like to help and you like to heal, okay? So when you look at anything you put your hands on, you want to know how to fix it first. You want to see if it's something wrong with it. Sometimes some things are not, it's just the way it is. You kind of have a hard time accepting things for the way it is too. So you're probably like this when it comes to relationships. You kind of have a hard time when you meet men or women. You just kind of start to see what's wrong with them first, instead of just giving them a chance. You're always just, it's like you kind of look for the negative first. You just wonder how, when it comes to relationships, you kind of do that. It's really more so that you just kind of like a fixer, like I said, perfectionist. And you want to see what's wrong with something, or how can you fix it first, okay? So this is what I'm saying. Like, you kind of feel really low about yourself, because instead of celebrating all the good in you, because if you're like that, this is kind of like Virgo tendencies, okay? But yeah, instead of seeing all the good things that are wrong with you, because Virgos is one of my favorite signs, you're really a perfectionist, and you're very picky, and you would rather just fix things or help something, and those are really good qualities to have. But you're like that with every aspect of your life. You probably have like issues with like OCD also, because you just want things to be a certain type of way. You're just like a fixer, like you're a fixer-upper. That's what you're doing. So do you guys see what I'm saying, like in a negative way? Because you guys need to like change that. But everything I'm saying is like really positive also. Flip that stuff around, and the reason why I'm saying you think low of yourself, because like every aspect of your life, you try to change it when some things don't need to be changed. And I'm talking about yourself. Some things don't need to be changed. Like, there's nothing wrong with your hair. There's nothing wrong with your smile. There's nothing wrong with your clothes. There's nothing wrong with your eyes. There's nothing wrong with your body, your boobs, your butt. There's nothing wrong with you, but you just look at everything and you want to fix it some type of way. And I kind of feel like some of you guys don't really feel like nothing is wrong with you. You're just kind of like that. And I do think it's probably like stems from the way you grew up. Maybe you were with that's what I'm getting. You were with some really critical parents, some really narcissists, who looked at you like that. When they looked at you, they said, you know what, your hair needs to be curly. Your hair needs to be straight. Your clothes need to be ironed. You can't wear this outfit here. You can't do this or that here. You can't act like that here. You can't act like that there. So when you are raised by narcissists, if you don't come out like one yourself, then you will most likely come out as a perfectionist, and you don't like to get nothing wrong. So now that I got that out, I see that you guys are extremely justified. And I'm looking at this card the same way I'm looking at this one, even though I was getting a lot from this card, because you just you're a perfectionist. You want to fix everything. You want to heal everything. You want to help everything. So, with this listen card here, the way you're going to get over this is actually spiritually listening to spirit. And spirit is going to start to show you some of the things that you are taking too seriously, and some of the things that you're not taking seriously enough. Most likely, it seems like to me, it would be things that you are just taking too seriously. Like, you're really just doing the most, overthinking a lot when it comes to things, And spirit is saying, like, you don't really see nothing wrong with yourself. So it'd be easy for you to lift up your self-esteem, because you just need to change your perception with things. Stop being so extremely critical. But like I said, now that I got that message, that you guys were raised by narcissists, and now I really understand, because that would mean that you guys are really like picked all the way through and dissected and everything. Like, your parents really just criticized everything. And when you were everything that you did, like to your work at school and everything. So when you're raised by narcissists, then you come out to be perfectionist, okay? So, it's kind of like nothing is wrong with the perfectionist. Not really, but perfectionists, they're really hard on themselves and they really try to fix and help and heal everything. They're just like that. So, you know what? There's a lot of worse things you can be. So you like to help stuff, so you like to fix stuff, But hey, that can be overwhelming for you, for other people, and like really intimidating for other people. So, and I know that you guys want to live better than that. So, forgive yourself for being just so, for just feeling like, and then it's like you're forgiving yourself, but not really. It's like you have to just forgive your past and forgive the way you were brought up, because you guys have visions sometimes of people just saying harsh things to you, and so you internalize those things and then you act those out in your adult life. So say, you know what, I forgive myself. Before you get off this video, you're gonna say right now, I forgive myself. I am not my past. I am not my mother. I am not my father. And I forgive myself for being so hard on myself, for being so judgmental on myself, towards myself, and for being this perfectionist. I don't have to be like that anymore, okay? So let's see your affirmation card. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. It's one of my favorite ones. This does go with what I was saying, and I don't think it needs any explanation because it's pretty much what I was saying. That's beautiful. What lies behind us and what lies before us. We're just talking about that. Are tiny matters now compared to what lies within us. That's everything that you've been through. Everything that you've been through are tiny matters. What happened in the past, leave it in the past. Let's move on from here, okay? And so just start forgiving yourself. Like it's not your fault that you feel like this. And you guys, you feel it. You know that you kind of do this. So this is just not your fault, And don't blame yourself and just feel like, okay, well, I don't need to be so critical or so hard on myself anymore, because you were actually raised by some narcissists, so you're justified. But from here on out, you're gonna know what it is, and you're gonna know how to not be like these extreme perfectionists, okay? And go towards these and start migrating towards these extreme ways. So that's all, y'all. Let me know your story if you want to. I know this is kind of personal. If you need a personal reading, then let me know. My email is in the comment section, also in the description. That's all. Continue to come and grow with me and subscribe so we can become a part of each other's tribe. Bye.